Hello everyone, what's going on? We're ready.
Bonjour!
Oh, we're going French on this one too.
No, I just felt like not pissing off the language police.
How's it going everyone? So, we've been talking about the digestive system. Last week we spoke about the stomach. Today we're going to just try and keep it light. We're going to go with the gallbladder. Very small organ, but very important too, that a lot of people tend to forget why. Chris, do you even know why?
I don't even know where the gallbladder is.
I don't know, I'm starting to laugh now. So the gallbladder actually works in hand with the liver. So if you look at it,
Should I turn around?
no, why turn around? This is in the front.
It's in the front.
It's in the front, right underneath the right rib cage. So your liver is on the right side of the right.
That's what I heard sometimes.
Actually, yeah, if it does hurt, there's reasons why it hurts.
Tell me more.
When I ask my questions to my clients in practice, it's why do you have any pain under the rib cage, and if so, which side, right? So the pancreas is in the middle, but end of the pancreas kind of goes to the left side. So we say that the left side rib cage is related to the spleen and pancreas, and that's why you have pain. But on the right side, it's either the liver or the gallbladder. So
Okay.
there's things to look at
When I was a kid and I would run, it always hurt me right there.
okay.
Why? Is it because I was eating too much steaks?
No, well, maybe you didn't digest the fats properly because of the gallbladder.
Maybe that's
That actually happens to a lot of people, that they get cramps on the right
right,
side.
like right here.
Yeah. That could just be because you didn't digest fully, or you didn't digest your fats properly, or it could be just the stress of the liver.
Interesting.
It's cramping up, so it could also be just tissue or mechanically. So it really depends. That's why I don't like to give a definitive answer, but it could be a few of those reasons.
Well, everything's a hypothesis.
Yeah,
That's what scientists
yeah, it is.
do.
That's what we do in life as well.
Exactly.
So the gallbladder, its main function is to digest your fats. Basically what it does, it takes down the byproducts of the liver and breaks down all the fat particles so it can send the bile and the rest of the fat components into the small intestine, so it can lubricate the intestine much more efficiently, making the fat create the proper mucosal barrier in the intestines.
So to make everything move smoothly out of yourself.
Exactly.
So that's why the fats matter.
Yes. And fats are very important as well for the every cell in the body pretty much needs it, but more specifically your brain. Your brain is made up to 60 to 70% fat. Yeah.
Well,
So
but like people always say, don't eat fat. Like you're getting fat. Like why is that an argument?
because they are misinformed and misled. So fat is not the problem, sugar is the problem.
Sugar is the problem.
And it's the kind of fats that you're intaking as well. So a healthy fats such as salmon, nuts, seeds, if you're able to digest them properly as well, avocado oil, coconut oil, olive oil is good too. Stay away from your canola oils. Stay away from any seed oil as well. Why? Is because, first of all, canola oil is genetically modified. Second of all, your seed oils contain a lot of omega-6s. Now, we understand that we need omega-3s from our fish, and we try and supplement because we don't get enough of the fat component of the omega-3s, which omega-3s are very important for lubricating the joints, lubricating the stomach or the gut, proper brain function as well, reducing inflammation. Basically, it takes your fat and breaks it down. But it's also important to have, and not too much, of omega-6s. So any type of omega is important, but when you have too much, it causes a problem. Now, when there's too much omega-6, that's what causes an inflammation. And our canola oils and stuff like that, our seed oils, have a lot of high omega-6s. And there's studies that have shown that we should be eating a 1-to-3 ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. Or sorry, a 1-to-1 even.
Would you say omega is another word for fats?
You could think of it like that, yeah.
Intriguing.
Fatty acid, right? So
Fatty acid.
essential fatty acids, omegas.
But these omegas are not in like Burger King.
No.
Or McDonald's.
No.
Those are actual sugar fats.
Or
Or are they just
oily
plain sugar?
Yeah, or oily fat.
oily, not fat. Interesting.
Yeah. So the bad fats, a lot of the trans fat, right? So the
Trans
trans fat is what's transforms the good fat into bad fat, pretty much, and that's what helps. That's what
So it's like overworks the
gallbladder. Yeah,
So
exactly.
if you overload it too much, what happens to it?
you end up creating gallbladder stones, and that's why a lot of people they end up getting their gallbladder removed is because of the gallbladder stones that they created or
I
that
did
were
not know
formed.
that.
Well, that's mostly what normally happens. Or if you're
How
not
do you know you have
digesting,
a stone.
you'll feel pain.
Oof.
And the doctors will obviously be able to tell you that. But and the other thing is, if you're not digesting your fats properly, you're not absorbing, you're not lubricating your gut properly. So if you're
Which can cause you problems to go to the bathroom.
either solid, because nothing is like it's too hard, right? It's too firm, or it could actually come out as soft, extremely soft, and you'll see it when you go wipe. And I know this is gonna sound disgusting, but
Nature, damn it.
yeah. But the number of times you actually wipe your butt after you go to the bathroom is a big indication of
Your gallbladder.
your gallbladder.
problem.
Exactly. Or if you see a film around your feces.
Interesting.
Sorry for the graphic in your minds, people, but
We are talking about the gallbladder.
Gallbladder,
Gallbladder.
the thing is that the gallbladder, as much as it's a small component, is actually very affected by emotions as well. So
Interesting.
like nervousness, anxiousness, it's kind of the same characteristics as of the liver. But if there's one that will differentiate it, is someone that can make a decision. That affects
Well,
the
it's
gallbladder.
also part of the solar flex,
That too.
so it makes your identity.
That too.
Intriguing.
Yeah. So if you can't make a decision, you don't know who you actually are. You can't be sure of who your identity is.
Interesting.
Interesting.
And then you're constipated.
Yeah, pretty much. So if you're not lubricating everything properly, obviously nothing flows properly, right? So the same thing with the solar plexus, nothing flows harmoniously.
And that's where like hemorrhoids can happen because it's too dry.
Yeah.
So it's either it's one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
What's a real good balance? Comes
No,
out,
what-
wipe once.
Do you ever
we're good?
do you ever see a dog wipe his butt?
No.
Exactly.
Oh.
So watch an animal how they
Anthony doesn't wipe his butt. That's how we know he does his job well.
That's how you know my digestion's on point.
He saves on toilet paper.
Exactly.
Wow, that's interesting.
But yeah, that's exactly how you have to think. So the more times that you wipe, then there could be a potential,
Reasoning between your gallbladder being a problem.
yeah, that you're not digesting your fats properly.
And would you say that supplements or what would make a good meal for the week ensure your gallbladder is fine, other than supplements, or is supplements the only way?
Well, supplements will help. So there's no actual enzyme for the gallbladder itself. The thing is that we're going to give it nutrients to help produce the bile more efficiently.
Interesting.
So if we're looking at foods, I mean, again, you want to go with your proper fatty acids. With proper fatty acids, I mean like the seeds, nuts, fishes and stuff like that. Proper fats. If not, just stay clean with your fruits and vegetables for sure. But the thing is that the higher proper fat components that, oh sorry, coffee got me. The higher fat content that you have, which comes from a natural source and not trans fats and stuff like that your body can't really handle, that'll actually support your gallbladder more efficiently.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or the other thing you could do is just have ginger before you eat. Ginger tea, ginger raw, whatever.
It
it
really
is.
like
It helps
stimulates you to be ready?
Yeah, so that you can digest your fats more efficiently.
My wife actually drinks it in the morning now, and it's
Okay.
been making her go to the bathroom better.
Yep. It's
Sorry, wife.
it actually is like a not a diuretic, but it gets everything flowing more efficiently. It
But
helps
it
with
also
the
does it
digestion.
properly.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
let's be honest, when people tell you take laxatives, that's not really a good idea, right? 'Cause
actually
that's
might
toxic.
Yeah, that might constipate you even more.
Right, because that's, a lot of people like to talk about the difference about medical system, naturopath, but the reality is, naturopathy is supposed to be there to help you understand how your body works properly.
Basically, prevent you to get sick. And
You're supposed to go to a grocery store, buy what you need to buy to feel healthy.
yeah,
It's when you do that and other problems come upon that you actually do need to go to the next level, which is a doctor, right? Because now we're talking about stuff that might have to have an operation on you. Stuff is going on like gallbladder removal or appendicitis or whatever the cause may
yeah,
be.
we'll talk about that too. But the best thing, if you can, is clean out your system as much as possible, because
Exactly.
you don't want an operation to remove any organs.
Exactly.
There's a reason why we were given 2 kidneys. There's a reason why we were given 2 adrenal glands, an organ, a liver organ, a gallbladder. Everything is there purposely, so it does its functions properly. So imagine if you take out your gallbladder, how are you going to digest your fats properly?
You're gonna have to have that operation where you have a sac sometimes, right?
But that's the thing, is so basically you have to supplement and kind of trick your body that you have a gallbladder so you digest your fats better.
Right, because let's be honest, not everybody gets to have a whole meal sometimes, right? Like, if we really think about it, and I love mentioning this to people, but the kings and queens of the past were the only people who got to eat in the past. Everyone else was starving. Let's be fully honest, right? In the 1500s, people starved on the street. Not everybody got to eat properly every day. They didn't get 3 meals a day. That didn't happen. Let's be honest. Here in Canada, where we're lucky enough to have enough, an abundance of food, we get to have 3 meals. But some countries don't. Let's be fully honest. And the idea of what I was mentioning versus, medical versus getting what you need is the idea that we should have people like Ant making us understand these parts of our bodies and recognize, I could just drink ginger. I don't need to go to a doctor and be like, I'm constipated. Here's some laxatives. Why didn't they just tell you, get some ginger? Like, think about it. This is important.
I was actually thinking that yesterday. Maybe one day we're going to explain why a naturopath or a natural therapist will help, right? But basically, we're trying to give you remedies so that you can prevent anything from happening. So we're not allowed. Ooh, that's a loud one. We're not allowed
Excuse
to.
you.
Yeah, we're not allowed to cure people apparently, and not even a doctor is allowed to cure people. But we're able to just help and prevent things from happening. So that's what we're trying to do. Is with the gallbladder, we want to give. Milk thistle, it's actually a root. It's not actual milk thistle. It's not actually milk. It's a root. It's a herb. You want to have dandelion. You want to have artichoke. You want to have N-acetylcysteine. You want to have biotin. There's so many great products or herbs that help you boost the function of the gallbladder so you can digest your fats more efficiently.
And I want to mention, in the past, we did it naturally because we were all on a farm and we were all gathering or we were hunters. But at the end of the day, we got all these herbs because it was next to us. Today, let's be honest, who wants to eat vegetables? I'd rather have a steak.
By the way, mushrooms, mushroom like reishi, the spores or whatnot can actually help boost your liver and gallbladder function as well. So just having a cup of organic coffee infused with reishi mushroom, not just that I'm promoting it, but at the same time, it actually does help with your liver. It actually helps cleanse your body at the same time. So,
Sold at Cabela's.
yeah, exactly.
So
or
that's
on my
the-
online shop.
So that's the gallbladder. Actually pretty important if you think about it, because your poop cannot drive properly out of you unless it's working properly. That sounded a bit graphic,
Yeah.
but it was meant to because it's funny.
And don't forget that you need the fat for your brain to function optimally as well, and that's what we tend to forget. And we're gonna go over the brain for sure. But the
It's
main
just very
component-
important.
yeah, just a bit. But the main component the main nutrient that
The brain needs.
the brain or makes up the cells in the brain is DHA, and that is one of the omega-3s that is combined in an omega-3 component. So that's an important fact to remember as well.
So when people say, I don't want to be fat, well, tell them your gallbladder needs it.
Yeah. Or your gallbladder needs to be better to digest your fat.
We're not talking about being obese. I'm just saying
No.
it's okay to be a little bit weak. Because you know what? Again, the kings and queens were chunky. And there's a reason for it. They were the most healthy people in the whole village.
Well, there's fat that we can see outside, like the visceral fats that we see of the skin, and then there's fats around the organ.
So
So
that's the problem.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
So that's the difference that we have to be careful of. It's around the organs that we have to reduce the amount of fat as possible. Obviously, we want to have a certain amount of fats to protect the organs, because the fat that we have will end up creating more myelin sheath, which is gray matter in the body and around the cells.
See, he knows his words. Give the guy an applause, man.
So, thanks, Chris. So that's what's important too, is that your whole nervous system, your whole the neurotransmitters that the impulses of the neurotransmitters need the fat as well.
Yeah.
So that's what you have to be careful. It's not always looking at what's fat on the outside. It's really what's fat on the inside. The fat on the outside, if everything is working properly on the inside, will just decrease itself as well automatically. So.
Alrighty then, that's it. So thank you so much for joining us, and keep joining us.
And guys, don't forget, you can follow us not only on Instagram, No Name Podcast, but we have No Name Podcast on YouTube as well.
On YouTube.
If you're missing out on the live here, you can follow us on YouTube as well.
Subscribe
Subscribe, please.
and press like.
Take care, guys.